Over the weekend, a Somali Muslim cop was dispatched to the residence of Minneapolis woman Justine Damone, who had placed a call for help after witnessing an assault in her neighborhood. But rather than helping Justine's frantic help for assistance, Officer Mohammed Noor removed his body cam and shot the woman in cold blood from his patrol car window. As the community of Minnesota demands answers and Noor refuses to answer any questions from law enforcement over the incident, Minnesota's hijab-wearing mayor has just issued a disgusting threat to the very people who elected her into office, proving once again that Mayor Betsy Hodges is nothing more than a domestic terrorist and an enemy to the United States of America. If you're not adequately familiar with the disgusting antics of Mayor Betsy Hodges, here's a quick recap. This Muslim-loving idiot has been instrumental in transforming the city of Minneapolis into a Sharia swamp ever since she got elected, where her eagerness to flood her city with Somali migrants has completely devastated the once thriving American city. White women are constantly threatened with rape and murder, as Sharia patrols are now popping up all over this Muslim-infested city. To make matters even worse for residents, Hodges recently set up an anti-blasphemy hotline in the city, so Muslim migrants could call in and report on any person harassing them, or speaking negatively about Islam. Now, in the wake of one of her precious Muslim refugees murdering Justine Damone, Hodges has now done the unthinkable to the grieving community, by issuing a violent, disgusting threat against anyone exhibiting signs of Islamophobia following the unbelievable murder. Jihad Watch reports that rather than reaching out to the Justine Damone or decrying the actions of the Muslim police officer, Hodges is now warning Minneapolis residents against acting like bigots towards the Muslim community, while reinforcing the false premise that Muslims are the victims in this case, and that the persecuted community needs special consideration at this point in time. Here's the disgusting message she blasted out to all her precious refugees, where she encouraged them all to dial her anti-blasphemy hotline if they witnessed any Islamophobia occurring in the city. To the Somali community, I want you to know that you are a valued and appreciated part of Minneapolis. I stand with you and support you. The strength and beauty of the Somali and East African communities are a vital part of what makes Minneapolis so strong and beautiful. I am grateful to be your neighbor. We cannot compound that tragedy by turning to racism, xenophobia, and Islamophobia. It is unjust and ridiculous to assert that an entire community be held responsible for the actions of one person. That will not be tolerated in Minneapolis. If you are experiencing discrimination, you can file a complaint at http://www.minneapolis.gov/civil./discrimination-complaint. This is absolutely disgusting that the first priority on Mayor Hodges' agenda is making sure her precious Muslims don't feel discriminated against, while making it out like they are the freaking victims in this case. But this really shouldn't come as much of a surprise, considering that Hodges was instrumental in getting Mohammed Noor a job as a cop in the first place. In the weeks leading up to the vicious murder of Justine Damone, Hodges gushed about Officer Mohammed Noor on social media, propping the Muslim up as the poster boy for successful Muslim migration and assimilation into the city of Minneapolis. I want to take a moment to recognize Officer Mohammed Noor, the newest Somali officer in the Minneapolis Police Department, she said on Facebook. Officer Noor has been assigned to the 5th Precinct, where his arrival has been highly celebrated, particularly by the Somali community in and around Carmel Mall. What's even more vile is the fact that due to the political correctness atmosphere that Hodges created by silencing Minneapolis residents from being able to speak out against Muslims and Islam with her anti-blasphemy hotline, Noor was able to stay on the police force even after brutally assaulting and battering a white woman back in May. The injuries were so bad that the unnamed white woman ended up suing Noor for the permanent injuries that he caused her. Hopefully the people of Minneapolis will wake the hell up and demand that this woman be removed from office. She is nothing more than a domestic terrorist who is willfully turning her back on the very same people who got her into office, while continuing to advance the mission these Muslims migrants have for complete Sharia law domination of the city.